RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. What up? What's the motherfucking word, man? Got my ass to work a little early. Had a little time to kill, so I said, fuck it, let's do a live stream. Do a live stream real quick. It's been a while since I did one of these little morning live streams. For a while, I was in a nice little habit of doing like multiples in a week. Sometimes I just don't even feel like talking to y'all ass, really. But just know that when I'm not doing a live stream, I'm constantly thinking, got my wheels spinning, trying to attach my individual self to the greater picture of what the world has going on. And it's weird, like that feeling that people get like when you young and then you in school and shit, and you don't feel included in all of the fun going on in recess when you were in school, but you were having fun, but you didn't feel like you really fit in, not really playing with other kids or having fleeting interactions with other kids, but you're not quite being rejected, but you're not being acknowledged, and you kind of feel off. Like, that's how I feel in the world, man. The same way a kid would in that situation. Like, I just do not fit in, man. No place that I go do I ever feel like what it is that I'm thinking and feeling about the world is even being acknowledged or seen by other people. That even if it gets respected by other people, that it's not a genuine acceptance. Not that I want everything that I do and say to just be accepted in the world, but in a similar frame of mind, I kind of wish that things that I think that I see, that should just strengthen the average person. It's always weird to me when helpful things, ideas of wisdom that can be applied to make a person's life, to just make them feel more included, like they are paying attention to the world, like what it is that they got going on, internally is reflected in the world, so that you just feel comfortable a little bit better in your, in your journey trying to ponder your existence here. So it's always weird, man, when you kick some shit and people be like, yeah, that's cool. And I know people gonna be people. Like, it's not like I don't understand that, but fuck, I mean, if we all like trying to build a boat, bruh, and you doing something that's not gonna be safe, that's gonna cause the boat to leak later, I might nudge you and go, hey, yo, that's gonna cause a leak. Or hey, we all can't be rowing on one side of the boat. That's gonna spin us, either turn us over or spin us in a circle. That's not gonna. When you want to say, when you're watching everybody like build towards something, and somebody's doing something that's like counterproductive, like you kind of want to nudge a motherfucker, go, hey, yo, nah, bro, not like that. We're not gonna get where I thought we was going. And I feel like that when people lose their individuality, and then they kind of, by doing that, then they're easily submerged into like the bullshit that the world has to offer your ass. I think somebody said before that if you use your mind, or somebody else will use it, or use it for their benefit. I don't know. It's some shit like that. I'm pretty sure somebody knows what quote it is I'm talking about, that I'm trying to quote here. But that is the truth. If you don't use your energy, or your life energy, or your mind for your individual shit, somebody else is going to use it, man. And it's evident when you don't have a great picture of the world and for yourself, and how the world should be to you and for you. You'll wind up in a dead-end job, making minimum ass wage, barely getting by, living check to check, or not even making it to your next check before you crash and burn. You know what I'm saying? You empty, bank account depleted. Like I've been like that before. I know what that shit like. So um, that's crazy because when you put a person in a state of dependency like that, or a state of like fight or flight or survival mode, bro, they is not finna obtain their maximum potential. No way in hell. You are so far from it, and all you worried about is like not being homeless and feeding yourself. Bro, man, that's a sad situation. It really is. And it doesn't matter if the world owes anybody anything, or if the world is just going to be like that. It doesn't change the fact that you can look at a world full of people and go, look how much uh, look at the lack of potential uh, in all of y'all overall, and then compare that to what it could be if everybody was just on their square. You know what I'm saying? Worrying about food, feeding the world that's come on, man. This is a greedy money man's game that the world is even full of the poverty that it is, because somebody has to play that role in the game that they're playing for them to be who they are. That is inevitable in the name of the game. It's not inevitable in the name of life on earth. Don't nobody need to fucking starve, period, especially with technology the way we got this shit going on right now. And they put more thought and energy and intent in saving the world with the technology and the power and the influence that they already have. There's no way in hell that they would really, really want that, but be getting what it is that we have right now. That's a sign right there that something is wrong, because there's too much power and control going on in the world for them to be boo-hooing, crying that, oh, something's wrong with the world. Then fucking fix it, tough guy. Fucking fix it, dear leader. Get the fuck out of here. They are getting what it is that they want. There's no way they got all this fucking power and influence and cannot get the peace on earth and the happiness. Somebody don't want that shit. I'm telling you, it's not about this country, that country, or this party or that party that really don't want peace for the world when somebody else does. Motherfucker, it is government. It is all of them, period, that is doing that. And they need you to lose your individuality and your health and the application of wisdom when you hear it. They want you to let go of all that shit. They want you to feel so disgusted with the idea of social media being any kind of a positive outlet outside of bullshit, fucking the cat video fucking thing, or porn and hookup sites and what the fuck else is anybody doing on social media? Everybody want to be famous. Everybody chasing the bag. Everybody got a OnlyFans or whatever the fuck else niggas got going on. They want you to think that the internet is all that and none of this beneficial shit, because you can't trust the information. Motherfuckers are gonna be biased. It's all fucking political and divisive. So be divided and enjoy yourself in that, because you are divided. They just want you to lose yourself in all that instead of feeling like that some nigga on the fucking YouTube is going to say something to you with total intentions on waking your ass the fuck up. No, fuck the woke community shit. I'm talking about the fact that you are in something like a slumber, man. You're not quite attentive. You're not being attentive to like the natural duties that your consciousness is begging you to fucking pay attention to. Off the fact that you're in here, just as much as you are hungry for food in your physical body and need to feed yourself, just as easily recognizable that calling is to me. I feel like the calling of standing up and saying that the world is in the state that it is in because of a deep control that something or someone has over us, and that we cannot just allow them to do this right in front of us, that there's nothing wrong with opposing them. And I think that's what nature is calling us to do. It's the equal opposite reaction, bro. You know, some people look at like how aggressive I might be sometimes and the shit that I be talking and all the pictures with the guns and do you think you're a tough guy? And it's like, no, bruh. It's got nothing to do about being a tough guy. It's about recognizing the love that the world has to offer and the violence and the doom and gloom that the world also has to offer. And I strongly oppose all of the bad stuff enough that I want to be just as diligent in choosing a side and saying that I'm not going to play games or be shrouded, have my vision blurred and blocked by all of the Hollywood shit and the entertainment and the sports and all this other shit. I want to see what the fuck it is that makes the world go round, who's doing that and for what reason. And when I look at that, I go, I see you motherfuckers and I have nothing else better to do, really, than to say fuck y'all and to ask other people, do y'all see these niggas? Do y'all see this shit? I think that's naked nature. man. And if the world want to be global, then my scope of vision to recognize a threat is also going to be global. I got to take that outside of the village mentality, the one party, two party bullshit. I'm talking about the whole world, and the whole world is doing something. And this to the tune of somebody's plan, and I don't like the fucking plan or the motherfuckers behind it. I get to say fuck them, and I think that there is nothing else that anybody can really be doing. You can live your day-to-day life, but take time out to be like, yo, any day now, who, you see them? Yeah, I see them too, bro. I see you, salute to you. Yeah, fuck them, right? They've tried to get it cracking. They bet, okay, because it is going to be whatever it is it's going to be, and I'm going to take my side and say, okay, because what I'm not going to do is take the side of being ignorant or complacent by this stuff, and then just going, hey man, I'm just gonna die in a state of confusion, to be enslaved, or had the world put on this grand fucking show that they're all begging for right now, and I will be totally oblivious to the truth. To me, I'm thinking that something big is going to happen, and you can just see this even if you give in to the political game, even if you give in to the religious game. It doesn't matter, because the both of them are saying the same thing, and all you have to do is be paying attention in that regard. If you are hypnotized by the shit, this is why it blows my mind that you cannot escape the truth of what's going on. Religion wants the world to come to a great level of destruction so that Jesus will return, and they believe that they are seeing all the signs in the Middle East and other parts of the world that this is what is going to happen. But the problem is they are keep repeating, or vice versa, or hand in hand. It's an echo. They're singing in tandem. It's a duet that they're singing with religion and government, by saying we too believe that in order for the world to gain the best level of peace, a lot of you motherfuckers are going to have to go, and it's going to be destruction, there's going to be a lot of death, but at the end of this is going to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and we will stand as one world government to control, very easily control all of the rest of you after this great catastrophe. One person is going to stand up, or one unit of energy is going to stand up and say, we will guide the rest of the world for the ones who have survived this catastrophic event. And religion and government are both asking for and expecting the same fucking thing. So I don't understand how people can believe in a religious shit and then also look to the government and go, oh, I'm woke and you guys are evil and we're going to stand up and Jesus coming back. Bro, y'all playing y'all role in the fact that both of them are working in tandem to get this one thing, because they're all in cahoots, man. It's all a fucking game to control the world. When you go to sleep, when you kneel to fucking pray, which is the same position they're going to put you in when they execute your ass. But when you do that at the cube, or at the mosque, or at the fucking podium, praying to your Jesus, kissing his feet and shit, when you're doing all of that, they want you to know that in your political life and in the law society, that they got you in a bind in your waking life. And when you seek yourself in your prayer, there they are to tell you the same thing so that your mind never escapes it. Hold this expectation very close to you, that the world is going to fall into a great level of destruction and violence and death. And when it does, accept it for being what has to happen. Play your role in it. Do not fear, because Jesus is going to come to save you guys. When that Jesus figure stand up, it's going to be a political thing, not a spiritual thing, but they are going to merge together and stand in front of you to say, this is the nigga you've been waiting for. This is your one world government and your Jesus. This is how you get that. Not only do I believe that it is inevitable that they're going to achieve that, because most of y'all are you're so stuck to the Jesus that you won't fight them, because you're thinking, but this is the plan of my Jesus, so then you won't fight. But you can really, you have nothing to lose. You can fight for this idea that the power is in your hands to gain this this peace on earth, or to really hold some court and deliver to the world some true justice by standing up saying we have nothing to lose. What the fuck is going to happen if we don't fight you? Then you're going to fight us when we're not capable of fighting you back. So fighting you, we have nothing to lose. Now, I'm not worried about fucking fighting y'all. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. Fight me with my hands up. You're going to fight me when I've fucking dozed off. I'm sleeping in my bed. I'm playing with my kids. I'm painting a self-portrait. I'm looking for this peace, of this internal peace. And when I do that and I ignore the rest of the world will stomp me the fuck out. into the fucking ground. They will stump you into the fucking ground if you think this introspective, I found my peace, I'm doing yoga in my backyard while the neighborhood is on fire. That shit ain't gonna get you nothing. There's no way that you can want the peace and the love and all that other shit and then play this to each his own game, or this as long as my kids are happy and safe game. Man, ain't none of that shit gonna matter, bro. You would just die in the middle of that shit, thinking that you've done something good for you, your kids, or for the world, and you have done nothing. The world is calling us. It seems like a natural calling that I don't got to call nobody to action. I would never do that. I'm just always surprised how when I feel like the world itself is calling me to pay attention to these things and express an honest observation of what it is that I think that I'm saying and act accordingly, it's all telling me that we should very much verbally come together, ask ourselves how we feel about the world, and then judge it harshly. We are the judgment. It just makes more sense to me that we are the judgment. We are the judges. The illusion of government will have you believe that you do make the choices, that you are in charge, that they are public service and they are here to serve the people and nothing but the people. But that's obviously not true. There's no way in hell that I would hire a bodyguard. I could not hire a bodyguard and be like, this bodyguard completely dominates me and rules me when he's here. It seems that his first order of business is controlling me and my life and not protecting me. That's always secondary. He will protect me if his attempts to dominate the entire environment leads to him dominating something that actually is here to threaten me. And then I think I see the benefit in my bodyguard, because yes, he did defend me, but what he's really doing is trying to dominate his entire zone of influence. And it came off as protection for me, but that is of no protection to me at all. It's of no protection to me. It's just a byproduct of the fact that he wants to dominate this shit. And that's what government and law enforcement is doing to you. They don't really mean to protect you at all. That's an accident if they protected you. What they want is to control everyone, even the criminals. Because they don't like the competition. They want to be the only criminals. And then the best criminals who have the highest level of ego, cockiness, and bravado and audacity will be the ones that hide behind government jobs to do what it is that they're doing with the drug trafficking, the child trafficking, and all this other shit. The whole time you have lost your individuality just as much as they have lost their individuality in the name of the game. You get a fucking badge and then you join a brotherhood, a Masonic brotherhood. That's exactly what the fuck it is, and I see it very clearly. I joined a fraternity when I was in college. This was years ago. I'm 42 years old. I joined this fucking fraternity almost 22 years ago, actually. That's crazy. 22 years ago. I had no idea what the fuck it was that I was doing and what I was getting involved in. They told me join this shit. It would be connecting me to a brotherhood that spans the globe, and that we all try to maintain the brotherhood and the level of dominance that we have over whatever industry it is that we infiltrate in. This was the shit that they was telling me, and I was going, oh man, this sounds fucking cool. Secret society type of shit. Spooky shit, right? And I knew very little of it. 22 years ago. I was 20 years old, 21 years old when I joined this shit. So literally half my life ago is how long this has been. But I do know that the things that we did, no homo shit. People like to associate that with all fraternities, but they always stomp out the hazing shit. And my college had long since gotten rid of all of the hazing type stuff. But we did do mind tickling rituals that are definitely Masonic, and maybe I should talk some more about that in a later video on some other shit. But just know that the things that we did there are clearly Masonic, and I can see that now in retrospect that that's exactly what the fuck it is. Exactly what it is. Like, so literal that it will blow your guys' mind if you recognize Masonic shit in movies and music and shit like that. When you see it and you go, oh yeah, they say this is Masonic, the fucking pyramid and the eye and the blah 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 and the fucking fire and the red and the blue for the two Masonic lodges, the red one and the blue one, like Crips and Bloods and blah blah blah, red, white, and blue flags, yada yada yada. The shit goes on and on because it is everywhere, because they obsess over putting very ritualistic things into every single thing that they do. That's why, you know, when you look there, then you will see them, then you will see them everywhere, and you go, that's got to be the same people doing all this shit. It's not competing factions just so happens to be doing the same thing. When I see celebrities and athletes who were not in the fraternity that I was in doing my secret fraternal shit, and I go, how the fuck do you know something that we protected so wholeheartedly as being secret to us, but everybody's doing it? How did that happen? You're all into the secret. How are you all into my fraternal secret, or the fraternity that I was in college? And then I realized, bruh, it's all Masonic, because Masonic influence has spread itself out like this. And you first bump into it when you choose to be the person who will seek higher learning. When you get into college, when you go there, they go, oh, you've made it here. Oh, young neophyte, you have made it here. Let me show you something. You want to be big shit, then you're going to do it to the tune of what the fuck we got going on, to fall to the wayside. Because we run this shit. And this is what they do. Man, this is what they do. I'm looking right at it. It's just undebatable. This is the shit that people lose when they don't get the higher learning. You have just detached yourself from a potential advantage of you either being a part of, or at least being adorned with the knowledge to recognize them when you see it. You lose that when you don't go to college. There's a gap. And I'm not saying that you can't understand it unless you go to college, but I got an accidental advantage on knowing goddamn for sure. When I see that Masonic shit that I thought was so secret in my fraternity showing up in these athletes and celebrities and all of this intentional shit that they're doing with the symbolism and the one-eye symbolism and the hidden hand symbolism type shit, all this shit that they constantly doing, come on, man. I'm looking right at them. I'm looking right at them. I know what I'm looking at. It's eerily similar to my fraternal shit, bro. There's no way it's not related. We guarded that like a secret, bro. The secret's out. It meant nothing. Either it meant nothing or it means everything. So it better not be everywhere. And when you look, this shit is everywhere, bro. Let me shout out the chat real quick before I end this. It is about time for me to go. I got about 5-10 minutes or so. What up, Ghost? Angels in here. Who was that? Supplanter, Boydress, J True, what up? Butt Crack News Network, what up, man? Let's say, if your bodyguard wants to try to dominate you, you have not hired anything at all. Oh yeah, yeah. Your bodyguard, come on, man. This is what you know, law enforcement and government claims to be. This great protection, but they are the greatest dominance. Like, when I see a cop drive by, I don't feel like, whew, for a little bit right now in passing and being in the vicinity of this police officer, I am safer. I know that I have entered the danger zone. I know that the mental state, the emotional frame of mind, and every little thing that I do that could set this guy off could lead to a confrontation, an encounter that can lead to a confrontation that can be out of my control, that can lead to my death, where everybody will root for the cop or side with the cop by default. Well, enough of society that the idea of justice for me in the event that something would happen to me in an encounter with a police officer, oh, good luck, man. It's a crapshoot, and I get the short end of the stick of that, especially with how I talk on my social media and all the guns and all this other shit. A cop could force some shit, and that's kind of weird to me, you know, that we can fall victim to something like that or whatever, and it is because of the piece of shiny metal, whatever rituals they went through, and then the costume that they put on is all a magic trick, because none of it means nothing. He's still a man, actually less of a man than me, because he's willing to do something to a whole bunch of strangers that I'm not willing to do. There's a moral disposition to be recognized here in an encounter between me and a police officer, and I'm morally superior to all of them, to every one of them. It's not a cop in the country. I don't give a fuck how much of a brave cop you think this guy is, or what good he's done, what medals and other shit that he has earned. I don't give a fucking fuck about none of it. There's deal breakers here, and he has broken a major deal with the great consciousness, with the universe, with reality. To be the initiator of force of violence like he is. I don't give a fuck about the good shit that he does. He's morally beneath me. I win. I'm a better man than every single one of them, and it's undebatable. And the only way you're going to be able to debate it is to actually have a moral conversation with me, and not say, well, this cop actually saved this or did this. He was working on this task force that did this this great deed by saving some kids and all sort of shit. Yeah, that's cool, whatever. But if a guy who is a doctor who has saved the life of some kids have actually been intentionally killing enemies of his through his medical practices or by poisoning him or something like that, you can get into a movie plot or whatever, find any great villain that you can find. They have done something good to or for somebody. And there are deal breakers here, man. The world right now is living a deal breaking violation to the natural order that I think we need to be paying attention to. The world is way too evil. There needs to be some good going on, and good people don't want to do tough shit. So the bad will win. It just kind of works like that. I guess that's just a natural byproduct of how good and evil actually tangle. How it all goes, man. The good people won't use the violence to get to the good shit because they think that somehow that defeats the purpose of the good, and I don't think it does. But it's just weird to me how a cop will play as if he is this great guy, and I can really just see through all the bullshit that he's not, man. The emperor has no clothes, man. I don't see none of that. What is it that you do on a day-to-day basis? What cop? I bet you the average police officer will have to agree with this, because how could this not be totally true? And you know this. Like, is it the Wild Wild West where you live? Is it a war zone where you live? In some places, some people might say, hell, well, yeah, it is. You live in Chicago, Atlanta, any fucking major city in California right now. California is going up with the violence. Fuck California. They ruined paradise with their politics. That's their fault. So live and die that shit, California. Fuck y'all. Fuck the state of California politically. I mean, the people there are beautiful. It really is paradise there. I've been there. But the politics ruined it. But you can live in these dangerous places and say, yeah, it is kind of like a war zone around here. Okay, cool, I get it. But the average cop, man, I'm telling you, he has written more citations. If you can count the dollar amount of how many dollars that a cop generates in citations and other fines and fees and shit like that throughout his career, I bet the dollar amount is fucking high. Look at all the money you siphoned from the people into the pockets of the government with this hidden tax. With a lot of it is victimless crimes that leads to these citations. They need every little offense to lead to money. The dollar amount is probably impressive over a cop's career if they look at how many situations where it was life or death and they saved somebody's life and risked their own life to do this. Bro, that hardly happens for police officers. Stop playing. They don't all have these marvelous stories of being these great fucking heroes. They write more tickets than lives that they save. Period. There's something wrong with that. We could curb it to say, hey, unless you risking your fucking life and doing that noble good part that you're trying to pretend that you are so fucking much, unless you're doing things that lead to that, all of the shit that leads to the money when nobody's even hurt or deprived until you show up, bro, don't do that no more. That's easy. Easy, easy, easy. You could ask the police to do that, but you're not going to do that because that's fucking a pipe dream. What the fuck I'm talking about? I'm paying lip service to the idea of where my imagination will take me when I know for damn sure the police will never ever do that, even if you vote them into a position where they have to do that, because they'll never let you vote that, they'll never let you change that, and they see the finish line. They just want to run this government shit into the fucking ground so they can get this one world government, and then you can thank your Jesus for that. All of that shit is fucking bullshit. RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. I'm gonna get out of here and get my ass to work. Listen, man, stop playing the game with your life. Y'all playing this game, bro, and I think that most everything else that you are doing in your life, I understand people got to live their life. I get that shit. Like, don't nobody got to try to kick no wisdom to me to try to tap me on the shoulder and be like, hey, but people got to live their life. Life goes on. People got jobs. People got kids. People got their own lives. People don't even see what you saying, and people got to wake up because they on their own journey. Blah blah blah. Cool, whatever. If they're on their own journey, then what I say will go past them. But what the fuck I say may penetrate some people who say, I'm glad I heard this nigga because this is the journey that I do need to be on, and I was already kind of feeling like this anyway. This nigga's just confirming all the shit that I already been thinking and feeling and seeing, and I'm with that. Like, then I'm only talking to you then I'm only talking to you. But I should say something. My moral obligation inside of me is telling me that if I see some shit, I should say some shit. So I'm just gonna fucking say it to you, and then you can take it or leave it. It'll be what it is after I've tried. I'm not going to accept that the world is on its own path. All these people are on their own path. Don't try to change people. You're not going to change people. Don't be upset when you don't change people. Come on, man. I'm only looking for the people who don't need me to change them, but to maybe inspire them to really care, sincerely care, and put into action the things that they're already thinking. Then that's who I'm talking to then, bro. Fuck it. Then take it like that, bro. But I am going to talk my shit, though. I have to talk the shit, man. Like, fuck. Everybody should be. If you believe the world is beautiful, stand up and say that. And then point to all the fucking beautiful shit and then get people to go, oh, the world is beautiful. And then I will step in and go, yo, someone's trying to ruin the beauty, bruh, and we shouldn't let them, because all of that fucking heartfelt bullshit you doing while you stopping to smell the fucking flowers, bruh. You down in the fucking mud with your shit, praying, smelling the flowers, all this other shit, bro. They execute you down there. Look to the skies. Are there planes above your skies? They got this UFO thing going on. All this shit buzzing in the world just going on about its day. It looks like hypnosis to me, really. I don't care what y'all say about somebody being on the other path. They are on their other path, clearly being influenced by things that need them to dig themselves into this uh individual only thing. The individual is fucking important, because I think that's where the answers are, but then you got to reflect that shit outward, and then you can't just be all about the individual. It's a rubber band effect, man. You have to go both ways. They want you to dig yourself so deep into your individuality that you put your head down into your phone. Like, go down, 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 down. They want your shit down, bro. They want your shit down. Why they got all this shit flying above you and they putting shit into place 24/7, they never stop doing what it is that they are doing. So every time I'm trying to do what it is that I'm doing, but then I got to pause to work. I got to pause to take care of my kids. I got to pause to just not give a fuck about the world sometimes. I don't care, bro. Sometimes you got to let that shit go, but then I always come back like, I do care. Where's my gun? Where's the vest? Give me the flowers. Let's go. And then I get out here, man, because god damn, I cannot work nearly as hard as what it is that they're doing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Cops are on patrol to fucking enforce that law, not to protect your ass. They don't give a fuck about that part. They don't give a fuck about that part at all, bro. They don't call themselves protectors. They call themselves enforcement. And if that's something to be taken arbitrarily, like it does not matter, that you do not need to consider these things, and the big ass fucking web of bullshit that little piece is attached to, bro, I don't think there's nothing more important, because the things that control you are actually doing that. They have a global mindset. They never stop moving, and they know everything is connected, and they connect everything. Where you get the rubber for to fucking make these tires that go on your cars is all controlled by the same people who say this fine will be set at this dollar amount to be enforced in this way. All of that shit is the same. Corporate law and this law society, all that shit is being run by lawyers, the bar. They are attached to a whole bunch of other shit. You need to check out the Black's Law Dictionary to see what these words actually mean. Human being, monster, currency, emancipation. All of these words have weird fucking meanings that you think you know the words and what this shit mean, and you don't, motherfucker. You don't. And the fact that you are hypnotized by all this stuff is the reason why you are actually being controlled by something that you believe has a power that's insurmountable, something that you cannot beat. How it happened like that? Because they've gotten you to believe a whole bunch of shit that's not fucking true, which is directly affecting the path that you have in life. So when I fucking diss your path in life for calling it complacent, or you putting yourself in a state of victimhood that you will fucking remain by your train of thought, I get to say that, bro, because your path ain't even your path. Your path is the path they gave you. So I do get to disrespect your shit, actually. So all that apologetic kind of to each his own shit, I was just kind of talking, man, fuck that shit. That shit is your fault, bro. You let this shit happen, and I'm blaming you. Now, I'm going all the way back the other way. I love y'all, but fuck, man, fuck. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Y'all crazy. Y'all being some babies, and you're going to get what you deserve. I don't want them to do that to you. I'm asking you to not let them do that. Fuck. God damn. Yeah. Larken Rose, he knows me, not personally, but as much as you can kind of know somebody through the internet, he is aware of my work, and he respects me, and I respect him. He was an idol of mine, and now I can't even comment on Larken Rose's videos without somebody who also follows Larken getting on there telling me how much they love me in Larken Rose's comments on his videos and shit, like how dope I am. That's what type of time I'm on, you know what I'm saying? And I remember following Larken Rose's stuff, and like hoping that he would like recognize me and then go look at my work, because I wanted to see what he thought about it. And he knows who I am. He knows who I am, and he liked my shit, and that's fucking dope, man. I'm proud of that, because Larken is one of the guys that I found when I was first quote unquote waking up, when I first started being like, okay, something's wrong with the world, and I'm panicking inside. Like, what is this shit, bro? Why is this like this? Like, can we make them not be like this? Like, when I start feeling like that, bro, Larkin Rose's material was right there, right along with the information about debt discharge, the birth certificate being printed on bond paper, your child being contracted into custody of the government. Your child is a ward of the state if they have a birth certificate, and the birth certificate is that thing that does that. It's a contract that is traded on the national market against the national debt. This is where all of this comes from. That's the first information that I found. I went, oh my God. And then I went, okay, follow the money. What else is going on? The motherfucker said war. It's a racket. It's actually the name of a book by a very smart guy. Trey, you should check it out. And I never did read the book, but I did see a bunch of inserts of little highlights of the book. And I went, oh my God, this is amazing. I do need to read the whole book. But Wars of Racket, that's what woke me up, and I started realizing that there was false ignitions to great conflicts, I'll say. I won't say the FF words, but I will say a false ignition to a great conflict. I realized that those things were behind World War I, World War II, and the war in Vietnam. And with my name being Trey, meaning three, this is when I stopped trusting government and history. So I went World War I, World War II, and the third strike was the Vietnam War, and I went, never again. Will I believe a goddamn thing that they ever say on the government level? I'm talking about the fight, the military-industrial complex. I was recognizing all of that. That's how I came up with my pseudo name, Trey Vietnam. Vietnam is it's a hard word. I like the way it sounds, the way it rolls off the tongue. It sounds like violence, and this is weird. I'm gonna kick this to y'all real quick. This is weird, like the connotation that we have with the word Vietnam is so strong in this country because of that war. Is that very often, not as often as it used to be, but every now and then still somebody say, what's the Vietnam in your name for? Are you a veteran? Are you that old? I'm like, no, I'm not a Vietnam vet. I'm not that old. But the world doesn't belong to you. First of all, you're American. The world doesn't belong to you. Somebody even told me that it was disrespectful to Vietnam veterans for me to use that name. And I went, look how cocky you are, you American piece of shit, that you think that you own the rights to the name of a foreign country because of a fight that happened there. What the fuck is wrong with y'all, bruh? You are drunk. Get the fuck out of here. I had to convince this woman that she was fucking stupid. And then she ended up apologizing because she understood what I was saying. She also kind of indirectly admitted that she was just triggered by the word because of her emotional attachment to the whole fucking thing. She almost kind of said that that's what she was doing. Almost word for word, pretty much just said that that's what she was doing by the end of the conversation. But I was like, this is fucking crazy though. But them wars, man, there were false ignitions behind those things. Somebody ignited that with the intentions of forcing us into a fight for a monetary gain so that the wheels and gears will spin for the military-industrial complex and regime changes and switchovers and little three-car molly switcheroo bullshits that they be doing. Much like the first American Revolution wasn't exactly what the fuck y'all thought it was. Lincoln didn't really do what the fuck y'all thought he did. He didn't like niggas. He did not like niggas. All of these things are weird, but once I started finding that out, man, I was just like, boom, done. Every time they fight some shit, I know they lying. Every time they fight some shit, I don't believe none of it. Just weird shit, man. The world is crazy. You don't have to like it. You don't have to ignore it. And I think it's only a natural balance that if the scale tips this way with the violence and the control, that it should also tip this way. But you don't make shit move. Man, a gun gets the job done. That ain't even my fucking fault. When I say that, people want to try to act like I'm like inciting violence or trying to encourage people to be violent. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm making an observation, and it kind of looks like the gun gets the job done. And you can tell they write all these things, all these laws, statutes, ordinance, and codes on paper. If they thought that that was enough, they would not also bring a gun with them. They bring the gun with them because they're saying we are going to have to resort to this, and we actually need this to be present for y'all to even realize that we even mean business. If we knew that government was completely unarmed, they would not be able to write that shit down and get any level of compliance from us. They can't even get it now with the guns. They can't keep cocaine out of a maximum security prison. The shootings are going up. That's they guys, I believe, when these major shootings happen. That ain't even real people doing that. I don't think real people really do that. It takes a lot for people to do that. It takes personal things for people to do that, and then they do personal shit. The randomness seems like a government agenda. Somehow these random shootings never happen in government buildings, but then they act like this is for them to fear the most, and that they're lives are on the line by this, and they need to call all of the shots, but y'all don't ever get shot at. Fuck y'all. I'm not even telling somebody to go do that shit. Don't mix my words, but god damn, I'm kind of surprised with all this all this government hate out here and all these fucking domestic T-words. Get the fuck down. Why y'all not getting shot at? I don't even believe y'all. This is all a whole bunch of word salad and magic and bullshit and hypnosis. Y'all got all the influence and all the big guns and all the media and all sort of shit. That's why I don't trust the whole fucking world, man. Kiss my dick. I don't trust y'all, and I think y'all want to fight, so let it be the fight, bruh. Fuck RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch.